Hey guys, so continuing with the stages of genocide. The first two stages of genocide are what people call classification and symbolization. To classify means to arrange into groups. That's all you do. You have different groups. And symbolization is making something stand for or represent something else. The trait of this stage of genocide is all cultures have categories to distinguish people into us and them. We just have groups. It could be white people or black people. It could be Jews or Muslims or atheists or whatever. It could be Canadians. It could be Americans. It could be Ghanaians. We just have groups. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. We just have groups. So there is no value placed on these groups, although sometimes we do. You know, when you say a group's name, you have your own value that you've put on it, but really it's just separate groups. So we give names to these groups or symbols to these groups. A cross for Christians or a Star of David for Jews are examples. Now sometimes symbols, which are also names, names are also symbols, can be forced on a group. It could be a derogatory term, a dehumanizing term, etc. Making groups and giving names or symbols to these groups, this happens all the time. It doesn't mean that there's going to be a genocide. In fact, these two stages are just a seed that usually doesn't grow into a genocide. The way I like to describe it is it's kind of like s'mores. If you have marshmallows, if you have chocolate, and you have graham crackers, it doesn't mean you have to have s'mores, but you have to have those three things in order to have a genocide. So you have to have classification and symbolization to have a genocide, but just because you have classification and symbolization doesn't mean you will have genocide. Again, it's really about making groups and giving them names or giving them symbols. That's it. Hope that makes sense.